Hello and welcome back to our channel Navigate the Noise. Today we will going to discuss about the chapter number 3 of class 7th NCERT, that is climate of India. So let's begin. Now the important things that we are going to discuss in this particular video is about the climate diversity and discussing about the types of climate, the factor distributing the climatic conditions, monsoon formation, social impacts, or how we can say that the climate is very much related to the culture, economy and society of the country India. Thereafter, disaster preparedness, we will talk about the IMD and other things, important takeaways, and the key important features about the IMD and how it is working in order to prepare us from the disasters. Now, before we begin with the climate, as you know, we have discussed about the weather. Weather is a day-to-day atmospheric condition or the change in the phenomena over a particular period of time or a particular area. So let's say if in the morning we are observing a clear sky and during the evening we observe clouds over our head, then this particular phenomena is termed as weather. While what is a climate? Climate is a long-term shift in the temperature and weather pattern, or we can say that the long-term study of the atmospheric condition of a particular area. So if we talk about the Thar Desert, so its climate is hot. Why? Because over a period of time we have observed the average temperature is hot there. Now rising temperature, changing rainfall patterns, extreme weather events, these pose significant challenge for India's agriculture, water source and coastal communities. So we must develop a robust adaptation strategy to mitigate and to mitigate the impact of climate change on its diverse ecosystem and vulnerable population. Now India's geographic diversity. If we talk about, first thing is we are looking for the northern mountain. So if we talk about northern mountain, as you know that the Himalayas, they act as a natural barrier, thus help in blocking the cold winds which are originating from the Central Asia and also help in the trapping of the monsoon cloud. The mountain climatic conditions are alpine and while its temperature is temperate. Now what is tropical and what is temperate? The temperature between the tropical is considered as the tropical temperature, while if we go above the tropics then that area is considered as temperate. We have also discussed in class 6th that all the three heat zones of the heat zones created by the latitude. First is the tropical, second is the temperate, and third is the frigid or the frozen. Now so Himalayas, they have a cold alpine climate with snowy winters and cool summers. Now if you go toward the northern mountain, this experiences a subtropical climate with hot summer and cold winter, thus perfect for wheat farming also. Thar Desert, if we talk about, it has an arid climate and with extreme heat, cool nights and little rainfall. Now let's go toward the western coastal strip. Then this has the very tropical wet climate. Tropical means which is having a very high temperature and also high rainfall. So it is a tropical wet climate with monsoon rains, while the Deccan Plateau experiences a semi-arid climate with hot summer and moderate rainfall. Eastern India, if we talk about, same mild winters and distinct wet and dry seasons because these are influenced by the monsoon winds. Now India's climate, the factors determining the climate. We will discuss this aspect in little bit deep. Okay, so first thing is latitude. Now, as you know, the area near the equator will going to receive direct sunlight. Thus, direct sunlight means more temperature. And as we move away from the equator, the temperature will going to decrease because of the sunlight. And thus, as we move away from the equator, we observe the low temperature region. So this is the effect of the latitude. Sorry. Now altitude. Now observe this particular image here. This is the mountain. Now how altitude will going to affect the climatic condition or the temperature? Now if this area is receiving a sunlight, then the plain area is having a more exposure to the sunlight, thus the more land area will be warmer, and thus the land area, if it is warmer, then the air above the land area will also become warmer, thus resulting in the increase in the temperature. While if we talk about the altitude, as you know, here the land area is very less. So less land area means less exposure to the sunlight, thus the air above the land area will also be less in the contact with the land area, and thus here the temperature will be very low. So in this way the altitude is going to affect the temperature. Now pressure and wind system, as you know, wind bringing the humidity, precipitation, and also it affects the temperature. If we talk about, first thing is the speed of the wind. Second is, if for example wind is originating from the ocean toward the land, it will brings moisture with it, and thus this moisture will going to result in the increase in the humidity of the coastal region. And also if we observe mountains here, this is the mountain, Western Ghat. So if a wind is originating from here, it will bring moisture, and if this moisture carrying wind, as it goes high or above, or is as its altitude increases, the moisture will going to result into the precipitation, and this is the orographic type of rainfall. Now pressure. Now for example, as you know, a country land area along with the water bodies, these are divided into the pressure zones. Now these pressure zones are created by the temperature. For example, this is the P1 area, this is the P1 area, and this is the P2 area. Okay, P2, P1. Now if here the pressure is high as compared to here, so this will going to affect the wind speed. Okay, as you know, wind originates from high pressure to low pressure. So more the variation between the pressure bars, the wind speed and its all the characteristics will going to be affected by the pressure only. And we also have observed that the low pressure area brings more rainfall. Got it? So in this way the pressure will going to affect the climate. Third thing is distance from the sea. Now imagine, for example, if you are living in Mumbai, okay, or living in any of the important cities near the coastal region, and another person is living in this area, Indore, Gwalior, or any region. So proximity to the sea or distance from the sea will going to affect the climate. Because of the presence of the ocean or sea, the temperature will be very mild here or balanced here. So here we will not going to receive very high summer or the very extreme summer or very extreme cold, while as compared to the inland cities or inland areas, we will going to here experience the extreme climatic conditions. Also, you know about the land breeze and the sea breeze. Now this will going to result into the balancing the atmospheric condition or the temperature of the areas near the coastal region. Now mountain barrier, Himalayas obviously wonderful gift for India. These blocks cold wind from Central Asia originating from here, and also they will going to help in the trapping of the monsoon clouds. Now soon. Summer heating, intense summer heat creates a low pressure area over the Indian subcontinent. We will discuss it later. You can just take a look on this particular slide. Now here. Now how monsoon winds will going to originate. Now listen, during the summer, as you know, the land will heat faster as compared to the water body. So we can say that the temperature over the land area will be high, and also, as you know, in geography, temperature is inversely proportional to the pressure. Always remember this. So if the temperature is high here, means the pressure will be low, And if here the temperature is less means as compared to the land, if the temperature is less here over the ocean bodies, then the pressure will be high. So during the summer, here we observe low pressure area, and here we observe high pressure area. And the more the difference is there between the high pressure and the low pressure, the winds will going to originate from high pressure area to low pressure area, like this. So during the June arrival, monsoon typically arrives in Kerala from here, okay, like this. So when the winds are originating from the ocean toward the India or the land, they will going to carry moisture with them, and this moisture will going to result into the monsoon. Now they will go like this, and here, reaching here, the interaction of these monsoon winds will going to come with the northeast mountains, and these northeast mountains will going to help in the trapping of the monsoon. Thus this area receives very high precipitation, northeast region. And thereafter here is also a mountain, so it will go like this, and in this way we will going to observe the monsoon or the onset of the monsoon. July August is the peak time. Most regions receive maximum rainfall during these months. Agriculture activities intensify across the country. Now this was the scenario we are discussing about the summer. Now what will happen during the winter season? During the winter season, class students, we observe that the land will going to cool faster as compared to the sea. Now why land will going to cool faster, why sea will going to cool faster, we already have discussed in the previous classes sessions, but again, that is the conduction property. Okay, so it is related to that only. In water we observe convection, and here we observe the conduction mode of heating. So land will going to cool faster, so here we will going to observe a high pressure area in winter, while ocean, it will they will not going to cool very easily. So here we will going to observe a low pressure area. So winds will going to originate like this from land to sea. Okay. So when the wind is originating like this, now they will going to also cover the areas like this the Tamil Nadu region, the little bit of Andhra Pradesh region. So during the retreat of the monsoon, we will going to observe winds are originating from the land, and most of these winds are dry because near the land area we are not having any sort of moisture there. Only little bit of wind which is covering the Bay of Bengal region, that will going to carry some amount of moisture, and this some amount of moisture will going to help in the receiving the rainfall in the areas of Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh. So this was the simple structure of the monsoon, how it's originate. Let's not go into the very deeper about the concept of the Africa and the America, that we will going to discuss in higher classes. Northeast monsoon, so October onset. As land cools, high pressure develops over the northern India. Wind begins flowing from northeast to southwest. Northeast to southwest. Limited rainfall, as winds are generally dry over in most of the India. They bring little precipitation to North India and Central region. Tamil Nadu benefit we have already discussed. Now climatic region we have discussed. Alpine climate found in the Himalayas. Tropical climate covers most of the peninsular India. Tropical here means having the high temperature and rainfall. Not so high rainfall, but we will categorize it in the tropical climate. Arid and semi-arid, we observe western region including Rajasthan. Now humid subtropical, Gangetic plain and northeastern states, because as these are receiving the more rainfall, or the water content or the moisture content is very high here. Climate and agriculture, how climate will going to help in the agriculture? Crop selection, agriculture calendar, many farming activities follow monsoon pattern. Okay, now farming techniques. How the farming technique is related to the climate. See, in India, we generally rely on the subsistence type of farming. Means here we are not doing any sort of investment. Our farmers are not so rich, or they are having a very good amount of technology that we can do the investment in the agriculture sector. So many of the people, they are dependent on the climate, they are dependent on the monsoon, and they don't have large amount of money to do the investment in the irrigation type of things. So that's why farming techniques are very much related with the climate. Now major crop seasons, as you already were aware about it, let's recap. Rabi, winter. Wheat, barley, mustard grown from October to March relies on winter rainfall and irrigation. Kharif, monsoon, rice, maize and cotton cultivated from June to October depends heavily on southwest monsoon rain. So this is, now you will not going to forget what is southwest monsoon rain. Z, summer, short season between Rabi and Kharif. Watermelons, cucumber and some vegetables are grown. Now climate and cultural practices. As you know, festivals and celebration, we celebrate many festivals like harvest festivals, Pongal, Baisakhi, Onam. These mark the beginning of the agriculture cycle. Now traditional architecture, house designs. As you know, climate will going to affect the house design. The topography and climate, these are the two things which will going to decide our architecture. Clothing and cuisine, traditional attire and food habits reflect adaptation to regional climates. Like spicy food in hot region help induce perspiration for cooling. Climate related natural disaster, floods, drought, cyclones. Already you know how the climate will going to affect the all these things. Cyclones, as you know, these are the these are because of the presence of the two water body near the India continent, Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea. Most of the cyclones we will going to observe in the Bay of Bengal, not so in Arabian Sea, and this is also because of the winds and the pressure condition. Now disaster management studies, we already have discussed these things in our previous classes about the uh, automated weathering stations, AWS, how India Meteorological Department works. So currently 5,000 plus weather stations are there that will going to help in the observation, while Doppler radars are there. Now these advanced radar system, they generally work with the scientific things, and they doesn't need any human resource to be present there. So these 12 Doppler radars, they help in tracking the cyclones and heavy precipitation, especially in those areas which are very uh, critically climatical, or we can say that the human presence is not possible there. 24 into 7 monitoring, continuous surveillance of weather pattern enables early warning for potential disaster. We have observed, we have also discussed about this, that how IMD is sending us the alerts all the time 24 into 7. So this is the essence of the IMD. Climate change impacts on India. See how it impacts, more impact on coastal region. Agriculture impact is also there, water resource and Himalayan ecosystem, urban infrastructure and so on. Now rising temperature, this is the related to the current event, that is India's average temperature has risen approximately by 0.7 degrees Celsius over the past century. Now this warming trend is projected to continue with potentially severe consequences for ecosystem and human activities. One more thing, not only our day-to-day activity but climate also affecting the ecological system. We are observing many species, they are coming into the category of endangered, vulnerable. Why? Because of the change in the climatic pattern. Changing precipitation, this we what we have observed. Northwest India, moderate rainfall was there earlier, but now we have observed increased variability. Thus in future we can see more drought. Okay. Now you can go back to that particular slide and observe, because we are not able to get the access of that. Now climate adaptation initiatives, as we know, National Action Plan on Climate Change is this is the comprehensive framework with 8 missions addressing mitigation and adaptation strategies. Water management, we have observed harvesting related techniques and all the watershed development programs. Climate resilient agriculture, development of drought resistant crop varieties and improved farming techniques. So as you know that right now we have observed that we are using HYV seeds, high yield variety seeds. Now these seeds help in increasing the productivity. Apart from that, government has also introduced the initiative like the neem coated urea. So these were the two important things that government has taken. Apart from that, development of drought resistance crop will also going to result into the improved farming technologies. Now renewable energy, how we can use more renewable energies in our agriculture sector so that we can reduce the carbon emission, and thus the average temperature can also be reduced. So you have seen that government is launching very initiative like the solar panels, which will going to help in the adopting the renewable systems or sources. Now traditional wisdom. Now this particular Sanskrit Shubhashita or wise saying, may the rains be timely, may the earth be lush with vegetation, may this country be free from turmoil, may good people be fearless. Now you can quote such type of verses in your answer writing just to improve your answer writing, and this will going to help you get the good marks. Now these are the important key takeaways that you can look upon and that we have already discussed. So that's all. Thank you, students.